Howdy, Legendary Void here, and today I have a deck tech of a deck I was using the other day in a recent battle video where I was playing a deck involving Wave 2's super rare Blitzwing. Now, Blitzwing, we're not going to be using his bot mode pretty much at all, just for raw damage if you really need to attack. But he's a 5/13/0, and his ability is meaningless in this deck, so we're not even going to worry about it. But we're going to be using him for his alt mode abilities, which in alt 1 mode he has Brave, and alt 2 mode he has Stealth for 11 stars. He is a tank and a plane ranged, and we're also going to be playing his Stratagem, which says that in both of his alt modes he's going to be both a tank and a plane instead of being exclusively one or the other. And these abilities that give him Brave or Stealth work perfectly in conjunction with Skytread. Now, Skytread is a very interesting combiner in that they have a revenge ability similar to Tidal Wave, in that when one of them dies, they combine together. Meaning that, for example, if you're more than likely going to want the tank to die first, since he has the least health. Whenever he dies, they combine together to form Raider Skytread, who is a ranged character. That's a 6/18/3, and whenever he attacks you have to put a face down card from underneath it to your hand, and then move 1 damage counter from it to the defender. And whenever they combine, by the way, your hand goes underneath him, and in the recent rules roundup, you have to make it random, I guess, so you have to like shuffle your hand and then put it underneath. But yeah, he's an extremely strong character, 6 base attack, 3 base defense, 18 health, not bad for 12 stars. And with the converter, that puts it up to 24 stars. And for the last star cost, we're going to be playing Villainous Spotlight. Now this is if you're playing a full team of Decepticons, your deck can have 2 extra stars worth of orange cards. And we'll get to those later. The reason that Blitzwing and Skytread work so well together is because on the first turn of the game, of course, you're going to have Blitzwing in his Brave. So of course, if your opponent's going first, they have to attack Blitzwing. And then on your first turn, you'll swing in with the tank, do whatever damage you're going to do. And your opponent's going to swing into the tank, hopefully deal some damage. And then on your next turn, you flip Blitzwing, gave him Stealth, and you swing in right here. Meaning that they're going to have to attack the tank if they don't have anything to negate the Stealth. And then on the next turn, you flip him back to his Brave mode and swing in with the plane so they can't get any damage on the plane. And you start the cycle all over again. As soon as you untap, you swing in with the tank first, make sure they kill the tank, and they never ever will get a chance to attack the plane. It's extremely strong because you're always going to start off with 8 damage whenever you combine, and then start moving that damage off as soon as you would start attacking. Okay, so starting off with our actions, we're playing 3 copies of Two-Pronged Attack. Now this card works especially well with Blitzwing, so because of his stratagem, he's both a tank and a plane, and both of his cards' effects will trigger. Being a tank, your opponent gets to choose 2 cards from their hand and scrap them, and since he's a plane, your opponent chooses one of their characters and does 2 damage to it. So anytime you play that card with Blitzwing on the field, you're going to have your opponent scrap 2 cards and deal 2 damage, so it's especially nice there, especially since this is an aggro deck. Next up, since of course this is a heavy orange deck, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Peace Through Tyranny. This is just kind of a last chance thing. If you really need to kill Skytread tank and then take another turn, you can play this to KO him, but otherwise it's mainly just there just for the double oranges, of course. Next we're playing 3 copies of Precision Fire. Since you're going to be playing a combiner and then a character mostly staying in alt mode, this card is especially nice for doing 1 damage to all of your opponent's characters that are in bot mode, or just in any mode that you need to deal damage to, since you're pretty much limiting what mode that you're going to be in, since combiner mode isn't exactly very common, and alt mode is something you can constantly switch out of. Precision Fire is very nice there. We're also playing 3 copies of Supercharge and 3 copies of Focus Fire. Now, Supercharge we're playing because obviously it gives bolt 3, and then Focus Fire because we don't have too much green in the deck, and you definitely want to be pulling stuff to your hand to get rid of the Peace Through Tyrannies and improvise shields. So getting bolt 6 is nice, although it is a little unfortunate when you have to put all the Focus Fires underneath Skytread. However, that is, if you look at it in a different way, a nice thing, as it protects your hand for your opponent getting rid of them and you're unable to play all 3 at once. So if you want to look at it that way, it kind of protects you from losing the ability to play all of them. But Supercharge is for whenever you can't play all 3 Focus Fires at once. And the last action we're playing is 2 copies of Treasure Hunt, as that lets you scrap the top 4 cards of your deck and grab all upgrades there. so it is nice in that regard. And we're only playing one secret action, and it is going to be our 2 star cards off of the Villainous Spotlight, 2 copies of Even the Score. It's a double orange pip that says whenever one of your Decepticons takes more damage than it needed to be KO'd, you do all that extra damage to the opponent who attacked it. So, and then it goes straight to the KO area. But it's a very nice card for whenever they finally take out the tank. Any of the extra damage they do to it is going to go straight back at them. And plus it is double orange, so it brings our double orange count up to 8. So very nice for damage output. As for weapons, we're playing 3 copies of Paralyzo Box. Now this is a very nice card since all the characters we're playing are ranged in every mode, so you can pull them to your hand after every battle. But you declare, whenever one of your characters attacks, the top card of your opponent's deck a pip color. And if it is the one that you declared, you get +4 attack. And basically it's going to stay on every turn. It's like a permanent, what's it called? A grenade launcher. In that, of course, you're going to get it. Once you know your opponent's deck color, most of the time you're going to be able to guess it right, unless of course they flip the white pip off the top of their deck that you weren't expecting. But otherwise, you're going to be able to get +4 every time you attack at the character. So very, very nice there. And then we're playing 2 copies of Flamethrower and 3 copies of Grenade Launcher and 3 copies of Power Punch. This is just, we're mainly playing these other weapons just so you can have consistent ways of dealing damage. Even before you combine, you're going to need a ton of damage output before you can start whamming on your opponent. So getting cards like Flamethrower and Power Punch and Grenade Launcher just to maximize the amount of damage you're doing. All these cards are just going to increase your damage output. So that's pretty much why we're playing all of those. For armors, we're playing 2 copies of Bashing Shield, obviously to get rid of things like reinforced plating, force fields, etc. And since you get to pull it to your hand, it's really nice there. We are also playing 3 copies of Force Field. Now this card is especially nice to put onto Blitzwing for whenever he has Brave. Since he only has 2 defense in that mode, he's going to be taking a decent amount of damage most of the time, and Force Field protects him from taking any more than 4. As well as we're also playing 3 copies of Verify Shield, obviously for the double orange pips. The tough one literally means nothing in this deck. And last but not least, we are playing 2 different kinds of utilities. One Energy Pack. Gives +4 health to anything with 11 stars or more, since Blitzwing is 11 and Skytread is 12. Either one of them will get +4 health when you put it onto them. And 1 Pocket Processor. Now, Pocket Processor you're probably going to put on Blitzwing, since he'll have stealth a lot of the time. Your opponent won't be able to get at him. Or if you want to put it on him so that they target Blitzwing more often than Skytread, if you have him in his bot mode, you can definitely put it there so they're not targeting Skytread, as he is the more valuable asset to your team. But yeah, that's the deck tech. Thank you guys for watching. This is extremely fun. I don't think it's as competitive as some other orange decks like Insecticons, but it's definitely extremely fun. Blitzwing and Skytread have insane synergy, and I'm excited to see what kind of stuff people do with Blitzwing stratagem. So thank you guys for watching, and as always, have a phenomenal day. Peace.